This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
Mickey 17 is the newest movie written and directed by Bong Joon-ho. It is set many, many years into the future on a planet that is not Earth. There's icy planets where we see the character of Mickey, played by Robert Pattinson, take on this expendable role aboard this ship and amongst this crew, where he's tasked to do these things that involve him dying many times, and he gets reprinted every time. So they're kind of just using him as an experiment to try different things. Parasite, in my opinion, is one of the best movies of the last 10 years. I love Bong Joon-ho's instincts as a filmmaker and as a writer and director. I always look forward to anything new that he comes out with. So naturally, I was very excited for this just because his name was attached to it. One thing I think this movie does very well is develop its world. We actually do get some scenes that are set on Earth, and it's all kind of in a distant future, but in this case they are technically flashbacks. And so seeing different planets, the way different cultures operate at this futuristic setting, I thought was really well done, and I think can be really attributed to the quality of the film's editing and also the production design, the set design. These sets that are created are very impressive. And there's a good amount of claustrophobia at times with this particular ship that these people are in, because it's not too unlike a prison, basically, and I think that they did a good job of capturing that. I really want to talk about Robert Pattinson for a second, because there were a few other impressive performances, but to be honest, there were also some that weren't that great, and so there was a bit of inconsistency overall with the acting. But Robert Pattinson is phenomenal here. He absolutely carries the cast and like the performances of the cast in this film. He's very, very good here, and you all saw this in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler, but at a certain point there are actually two of him acting in the same scenes and whatnot, and he just does such a great job. I was never confused as to which was which. You know, that could be something that could happen because they're the same, they look identical, but he played those two different characters very well, and it was in a very convincing way. Once again, shout out to the editing department, the visual effects, how they were able to do those scenes where there are two Robert Pattinsons in the same frame. It's amazing. I don't understand how they were able to do that. I mean, I do, like, I can have ideas in my head of how they would have done that, but it's really incredible how they were able to achieve that and make it look so seamless. And I would say that goes for most of the other visuals as well. A couple of shots at the CGI for these creatures that are on the planet. A couple could have been done a little better, like maybe some lighting could have been tweaked to make the implementation of the CGI a little bit better. I'm getting on the technical boring side, I know, but just a couple of shots I was like, could have just done a little bit better job there. The movie's very funny too. There are a lot of very funny moments regarding the reprinting or cloning, for, you know, in layman's terms, of Pattinson's character. Some of those scenes, there are some funny bits and gags. Pattinson himself has some very funny acting moments, some moments where he gets really over the top and like shrieks at times that I thought was really funny. There's a use of the Wilhelm scream that is incredible. It made me laugh out loud. I was the only one in the theater too, so I let out a big laugh, didn't care because no one else was there. If I had to touch on some negatives with the film, as I had alluded to, some of the acting just, it wasn't necessarily bad, but I just didn't get what they were trying to do there. And maybe some of that could be attributed to the direction as well, but certain actors, the way that they deliver lines as these characters, I just didn't get it. I didn't know if it was supposed to be over the top or if it's supposed to be purposefully kind of kabuki in a way. So yeah, just a couple of characters at times I didn't understand how I was supposed to feel as the audience member. There are a couple of points in the plot that I felt weren't entirely necessary. At one point, there is, the best way I can describe it is like a love square, you know, like a love triangle, but instead there's four of them that are all sort of into each other, to sum it up, and it just didn't need to be there. It was pretty dumb in my opinion. You could have taken that out and trimmed down the running time as a result. But overall, I thought Mickey 17 was a great time. A lot of that is due to Robert Pattinson being so good in this role, and I just love the world that they built and fleshed out in this futuristic setting. Good stuff. Overall, I'm going to rate it a 9 out of 10. I would recommend going to see this. I was the only one in my theater who saw this, so please do go see it. Please give it your support. I think it's worth it. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace out.